We'll take a look at improvements in Cape May County government and also proposed improvements in the infrastructure in Cape May County. Next on the Cape May County Report. Welcome to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenora Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director, along with Freeholder Director Gerald Thornton. Thank you for joining us, Director.
Thanks for the invitation, Lenora.
Director, since January, you've been working hard, making many improvements in Cape May County government, and one addition to Cape May County government is a new Director of Operations. Tell us about some of those changes.
Well, what happened, our county administrator left us to go to another position, and so we needed a replacement, and so we were kind of searching around. I was searching around trying to find a replacement, even for an interim replacement. And our previous Chief Financial Officer, Ed Grant, had just retired. And so I reached out to him and I said, Ed, I need a favor. And he was away at his home in Florida. And I said, would you consider coming back and bailing me out and helping us out here, because I need you? And he said to me, Director, I'm on the beach here. But thank heaven I convinced him, and he's come back now. He's been back about 4 months, and he has really stepped up to the plate and helped us out a great deal, because he retired, so we lost our Chief Financial Officer. We had the Deputy Clerk of the Board retire, which I knew was going to happen, and unexpectedly we had the Administrator leave. So
with the new Freeholder Board.
And with a new Freeholder Board and a new Director as Director of the Board, and suddenly I was not only Director of the Board, but for a period of 2.5 months or so, I was also the Administrator of the county. So it was a very challenging time for me personally, and I was very happy to have Ed Grant come back.
But hands-on, you were able to see what needed to be done in county government, and with now Ed Grant, he comes with having been 17 years as Chief Financial Officer, so he's familiar with the workings of county government, so you're just up and running.
Oh, absolutely, and he was very familiar with all the departments and everything that happens within county government, because Ed had been with the County of Cape May for 31 years before he retired. He started out as economic development, went from economic development to purchasing, from purchasing to the Treasurer's office as the Treasurer of the county. So he had a wealth of experience over 31 years. So it was very important to get someone with that experience and that knowledge to come back and help us out through this interim, and he's done a very good job.
And having been with purchasing and the Chief Financial Officer, he's been involved with many new and innovative projects with the county. For one, the P card, which brought savings to the county, and now you're working with a cooperative effort to bring more savings to not only the county but to municipalities as well.
Oh, absolutely, and he has worked very hard. The P card, we were the first, for people who don't understand the P card, it's like a credit card. It's like a county credit card. It's called a purchase card. And we were the first county in the state to utilize this card. And so far we have garnered, we get returns of about $50,000 a year because we use this P card. And it's a very safe system. It's easier for our tracking. We don't have a great deal of purchase orders, so accounting-wise, it's really a wonderful system. And we see the other municipalities are looking at, other counties have come to us and looked at it. So he was the innovator of that program, I'm happy to say. So yes.
And now one of the things that you're also bringing about is taking the lead for other municipalities with U.S. communities and how they could save money by getting part of that.
The U.S. Communities is a large purchasing co-op that's a national purchasing co-op. And we just had a meeting last week with all the municipalities. We had them come in and we outlined just what U.S. Communities provides as far as purchasing. And we have saved in a short period, just this year, in the first 4 months or 5 months of this year, we've saved over $100,000 by purchasing through this national group. We've found significant savings in our food cost in our county nursing home. And everywhere we have looked at the cost savings between the state bid list and U.S. Communities, we have had a significant savings. So we're trying to share that with all our municipalities in Cape May County. county.
And some might say, well, we don't want to start and use a national vendor or use somebody different that we're not familiar with, but that's not actually the case.
No, it's not the case, because the people we're dealing with are national vendors now, like Home Depot and Lowe's and Premier. Premier is another food organization that we use in our nursing home. So it's been just wonderful. The savings are there. We just have to create the programs in order to utilize what's available, and we've done that.
Yeah, and by using through the U.S. communities, you're using the same vendors but saving money. In the case of Premier, you had already used them before.
That's absolutely right. And it was so interesting, because when we went national and we used them as a national organization, their prices were much less than what they were statewide. So there was a prime example of what we saved by using their national pricing versus the state of New Jersey pricing.
So as the tough economic times continue, and you're always looking to save money, because no matter how you hold the line on taxes and budgeting, you're always preparing for the next year, so looking for ways to save. Today's governing is very, very difficult for all levels of government, whether it's state government, whether it's county government, municipal government, because the resources and the revenue is not there any longer. Cape May County has had its ratables reduced by more than $6 billion in the last 3 years. We lost $6 million in realty transfer fees from the county clerk's office, because the real estate purchases are down throughout the county. So it's had a significant impact. So we have to find new and innovative and cost-saving ways in order to be just more efficient. And we're doing that. We are doing that. We are one of the most stable counties, if not the most stable county in the state of New Jersey. We have the lowest tax rate in the state of New Jersey. We have an excellent bond rating. We have a AA1 bond rating. So financially, we are really in good shape. We got there, though, because the last 3 years we made some very, very difficult decisions. And we reduced our staff through attrition, basically, by about 170 positions. And those people where we did have a layoff, we found other positions for them within the county. So we've been very successful, but it was very difficult. I'm not trying to tell you that it wasn't difficult. There were some very difficult decisions to make. Well, now you talked about the bond rating. So Cape May County consistently has a very solid bond rating, and this helps when you go out to bond with potential savings for the county. Oh,
absolutely. And because of our bond rating, we get very low interest rates. An example, we just refinanced the bonds for the County Bridge Commission, which we basically guarantee their bonds. So we refinanced their bonds just last week of $14 million. Because the way we refinance those bonds, we're saving $55,000 a year in interest, which is significant just on that one issue alone. We just had another issue that for $34 million that will probably take us more than 5 years out, because projects we know we're going to have to do over the next 5 years. We did the $34 million bond issue because right now the interest rates are very low. So that guarantees an interest rate through the entire process for all these projects. So it's just trying to be very efficient and cost savings, and we've been doing that. And
the savings are important to the county when you save on what you would have to pay in interest, because the flip side of that, when you talked about the reduction in revenue, one of the staggering numbers is how much Cape May County used to receive in revenue, interest revenue, and today what they receive.
We're not getting that.
Right.
It's just not there. Even our bank revenue on our deposits and investments in banks, and the bank, and our certificates of deposits that we have with the banks, it's not there. I will tell you, it's probably down. Our revenues are probably down close to 80% in the last 3 years or 3 years plus, and the banks are just not providing any interest rates whatsoever.
And when we talked about finances, you mentioned that our treasurer retired, and we have a new chief financial officer, Francine Springer, came on March 1st, and we just recently had a new county audit, our annual audit done. Tell us what the audit shows in terms of the soundness of our finances.
The audit showed we had no findings in our audit. We had no discrepancies, no findings in our audit by the county auditors, which is a private independent firm that comes in and audits county government. So that was an outstanding audit, and Francine, we're very happy with her. She's been the number 2 person in the treasurer's office for a period of years, for 4 or 5 years. So we started this continuity throughout departments, because we're going to see a lot of retirements in a short period of time here with our department heads, particularly now where they're going to be required to pay for their health benefits, and some of those costs are going to be significant for some of the senior department heads. Those costs are going to be up to $9,000, $10,000, $12,000 a year in health benefits under what they call this Chapter 78 law. So we're going to see a number of retirements. So what we're doing, we're trying to take some of those second-level employees, middle management employees, and train them so that they're able to move up, because they have the most experience within the departments. And I'd like to do that because I don't like to go outside when you have employees for a number of years that have worked for us and have done the job, and they should be recognized and eligible for promotion if it's there.
And the importance of that to the public is that there's a seamless change, and that the services and programs to our residents are not in jeopardy at all.
You're absolutely right. And one of the most difficult things we've had is trying to maintain a level of service for those programs that are existing. That's why basically now we're not funding any new programs, because we don't want to create a dependency on our citizens that we can't guarantee that we're going to be able to do over the long run, and we want to make sure any programs that we have has longevity to them, because people depend on those services, and we just can't pull those services away like that. Particularly Cape May County. Cape May County now is running about 23%, 24% elderly, 65 and above. Percentage-wise, we're the highest county in the state. Now we exceed Ocean County as far as percentage. So it's very significant that we maintain a level of service to protect those people that are at risk. That's government's responsibility.
And one of the ways you're doing that now, what you're doing is you created a number of focus groups to take a look at county government as a whole, and departments and services, and tell us what you're finding with that. Well,
with the focus groups, what we're finding, one thing that we did find is making sure that we have that, as I said earlier, that continuity within the departments. And we're also finding a number of efficiencies, and I hate to say it this way, but it's true, some deficiencies that we didn't recognize that were there for a period of time. And so now we're able to correct those. Some things that, for whatever reasons, haven't been addressed, some projects that we haven't done. Like just today, I had a meeting regarding the Veterans Cemetery, where our veterans are interned, and it's very, very important that we maintain that, so it's a beautiful place for them to go, and their family to go and visit the graves. And there is going to be some significant changes to beautify that Veterans Cemetery, which is long overdue, because we just haven't been able to maintain it to the level that I will be happy with.
And as Director of Veterans, you tap the Veterans Department. It's important to make sure that that is maintained. But through these focus groups, as you said, you define the good parts of county government and what needs to be improved.
Oh, absolutely. And there's never going to be a perfect government. I will tell you, even Cape May County, it's very complex and it's very difficult, and day to day it is not the easiest business to name. We are in a major business. We're talking about $138 million budget. We're talking more than 900 employees, not considering the boards and commissions. So it's very complex, but we do.
And one of the other initiatives that you're working on this year, keeping in mind with the health costs and the increased health costs, is a wellness program for the county.
And that wellness program is very important, because if we adjust our employees to having better lifestyle, better health, better nutrition, and these type of things, it will reduce our overall health costs. Health costs for all counties and governments and businesses today are very, very high. The only way you can reduce that is try to have your employees participate in a healthier lifestyle, and also say to them, okay, there are certain options here, such as using generic drugs or medicines, and that's very important. We've had a significant savings by going to Express Scripts, and so that they use mostly generics, and they save money also because then their copay is lower. So that is a significant saving there.
And it's all the little things that you do now throughout the year that will help you when you go to budget for next year.
All those little nickel and dimes become dollars. That's what we have to do. We're
going to take a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at money that is being spent in Cape May County on improving the infrastructure. So please stay with us.
How far would you go to discover a new treasure? How far to stand on the edge of the earth? To step back in time? To be amazed? How far would you go to lower your heart rate? To heighten your senses? To breathe, really breathe? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region. How far would you go to feel young again? How far to capture the sun? To walk in the wild? To celebrate new traditions? How far would you go to just slow things down? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region.
Welcome back to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenora Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director, along with Freeholder Director Gerald Thornton. And joining us now is Cape May County Engineer Dale Foster. Director Thornton, probably one of the most important things for a county is its infrastructure. Why is Cape May County focusing on improving the infrastructure in the county?
Well, then, the most important thing when we talk about infrastructure basically is our highways and our bridges. And it's very important that we maintain them, because we have a very large tourist population. We get almost to 1 million people visiting Cape May County in season, and so we have to make sure that our highways and our bridges are safe and well maintained, and that the traffic flow is there and everything's not all backed up, and that's difficult to deal with. And Dale has had his headaches over the years trying to deal with that, because every time we have to do a road improvement somewhere, the first thing we say to him now, "You're not going to do that in the summer, are you, Dale?" And he's still saying, "No, we'll do this in the fall or the winter."
Well, this time of year, many people recognize when they're coming to the shore or leaving the shore, the backup on the Thornton State Parkway at the traffic signals that exist only in the Cape May County portion of the Thornton State Parkway. For years, there's been a project proposed that would eliminate those traffic signals. Where are we on that project, and do you see it coming about soon?
It's coming about very soon. The Turnpike Authority, who operates the Garden State Parkway, has filed for the permits. Actually, about 2 months ago, they filed for the permits for the project. So they're well on their way. They hope to get the permits later this month, and they're looking to award a construction contract before the end of the year. If they're able to do that, then they're looking at construction starting sometime in March of next year. So you know, it's a big project. It's a $125 million project to eliminate those 3 traffic signals. There's a lot of improvements that are associated with that. So you know, I'm looking forward to it, but it's going to be a tough 2 years while the construction's going on of those improvements.
And what role is the county playing now in that project?
Well, the county is like a partner with the Turnpike Authority on this, because most of the overpasses are occurring at locations where it's a county road. You know, Shell Bay Avenue, Stone Harbor Boulevard, and Cresthaven Road. And then also we have Mechanic Street, which takes you into downtown courthouse. All 4 of those roadways are county roads. So we're working with the Turnpike Authority to make sure that our roads are taken care of. Plus, we're also helping them with right-of-way. Right now, they're in the process of getting all the right-of-way that's needed for the project. There are several slivers of right-of-way that are required from the county and also from private residents and whatnot. The Turnpike has asked us to assist in getting going through the negotiations and coordinating with our sister agencies such as the county MUA and the county technical high school. So that's the role that the county is playing in this.
And when you look at the project itself, everyone has wanted this to take place, but the time that construction is underway is going to be a difficult time for people to move about.
Oh yes, without a doubt. Construction always causes congestion, and you know, having a high-speed roadway such as the Parkway, it's going to be very difficult. And what's proposed is they're proposing to take the Parkway up and over the local roads, because they are able to stage the traffic much better than trying to stage the traffic on the local road, because they're tied tightly with or constrained tightly by wetlands and other impacts if they were due to the local roads. So they're taking the Parkway up and over, and you know, hopefully the first year they'll be able to build half the roadway, have the structures in place, and then move the traffic up onto the bridges going over top of the county roads, so that the second year should not be as bad as the first year of construction.
One of the other issues for the county, I know the director has pushed for it, is the replacement of the Garden State Parkway southbound bridge over the Great Egg Harbor. What is the timetable with that? Are we going to see a bridge replacement soon?
Yes, and talking with the Turnpike Authority on that project, they're looking at sometime next year being able to go out to construction with that project. What they're proposing to do is build a completely new southbound structure. The southbound structure is the oldest of the two structures going over Great Egg Harbor Bay, and it's of a construction that is subject to steel fatigue issues, and they've been doing a lot of repairs over the years to that, so they want to replace that bridge with a more modern bridge. One of the unique features of the new bridge is that they're actually going to be building a walkway on the outside of the bridge, which is amazing for the Turnpike because they're in the business of moving cars. So this will be like one of their first pedestrian activities, or it's not really pedestrian, it's a combination walkway, so you'll be able to bike across and probably be able to fish on the bridge. And
Director, you've been pushing for this, and as Director of Emergency Management as well, to make sure that this roadway into our county is improved. That's
very, very important, as you know, Lenora, because you're with us during our crisis, hurricanes and things like that. So you know that as far as evacuation, Cape May County is the 6th most difficult area in the nation to evacuate. So it's very, very important that we have a way to for our residents to get out of the county. Hurricane Irene was a prime example. We did something I never thought we would be able to do. We evacuated more than 750,000 people in 36 hours out of Cape May County on the roadways that we have. We were fortunate because the storm hadn't hit yet, but we know because of our low-lying highways that if the storm does hit and hits us and we're not aware, and we try to evacuate people, a lot of those roads are going to be underwater. So that's why it's extremely important that we have the bridge structures so that we can evacuate those people in a reasonable amount of time and protect them.
So you plan now with improvements, and some of the improvements that you're working on throughout the county touch all the municipalities, and one main project that you're working on with the Wildwoods is the entrance to Rio Grande Avenue. Tell us about that, Dale.
Yes, the entrance, particularly getting out of the Wildwoods, is very difficult because you've got all the lights and then you've got people trying to make left turns, and in particular the intersection of Susquehanna Avenue and Rio Grande Avenue. When the light turns green for Susquehanna Avenue, basically you've got two lanes going into two lanes, but they're not able to get two cars going at the same time. So we're looking at making some improvements there to improve the flow of traffic through that area. And at the same time, we're going to look at seeing how much we can raise that roadway, because it is a problem area for flooding. It's just about every high tide, we have some flooding activity going on there, and in particular, like a full moon tide, like we're having currently, it is a problem area getting through that section. So we're looking at it. We're going to be looking for state funding to help us with that project, but I think it's going to help in the movement of traffic through there. At the same time, we're going to be working with Quatita to also look at cleaning up the entrance, making it look more presentable, get some better signage in there, because when you come across the George Reading Bridge, there's no signs there to direct you to where you need to go in the Wildwoods, so these are things that we're looking at as part of this project.
So Director, with the county assisting the municipalities there that make up the Wildwoods, it not only benefits those communities but the county as a whole. Oh,
absolutely. Well, you've got the 4 municipalities in the Wildwoods that it benefits, and another thing is the business community in the Wildwoods is very interested. In fact, they're going to work with us to do a whole entrance way, and they're going to put those big balls as you see at the end of Wildwood. They've got a plan to place those as you go into Wildwood and really make it a nice entryway so that it's very attractive to all those visitors going to Wildwood. The Wildwoods are very, very important to our economy. We've got a $52 billion economy here that we have to do those things that are necessary to protect it, and we have to enhance our roadways in order to make it look good for our tourists.
And the county is involved with projects in many municipalities. Sea Isle City, you have projects going on as well.
In Sea Isle, we're looking this coming winter season to reconstruct JFK Boulevard when you first come across the bridge. We've been working in conjunction with the city because the city has a beach to bay program going on there where they've been doing a lot of improvements. And this project, we're doing the roadway, but it's also got streetscaping in there. One of the things with Sea Isle, you have so much activity going on there. We've got narrow sidewalks in there. When we're done with this project, we're going to have some sidewalks that are 17 feet wide, and it's going to look really beautiful. It's going to tie in everything that the city has done. Plus, we're also raising JFK Boulevard. Some sections are getting raised as much as 16 inches, so we're looking to help them, avoid some of the nuisance flooding that's associated with tidal flows. There's a lot of drainage improvements as part of that project, so it's going to really be a nice project that we've worked jointly with the city on. So
now we only have a few minutes left, but you have projects in the city of Cape May, projects in Middle Township, and there's also projects in Ocean City as well. Tell us about the Ocean City project.
The Ocean City project, we're looking at Bay Avenue between 6th and 18th Street. Yeah. That's a section that the roadway has deteriorated over time, and the sidewalks are in poor condition. So we're looking to come in there and reconstruct them. We've also worked with the city, particularly the school system, to put in a safe routes to school for their intermediate school located at 18th Street and Bay Avenue. Hopefully we'll get the funding for that, and that will be a nice improvement for helping kids get to school safely there. Project in Cape May City is a project that's it's a shoreline stabilization project. Looking forward to that because it's a very interesting project down there. There's some real potential for doing some really innovative stuff down there in the city. So we've got a lot of projects in the works.
And also drainage issues have come about, and you have funding from FEMA for projects as well.
Yes, we have FEMA for Hope Corson Road project in Upper Township. So.
Well, there's so much going on with road projects. We'll have to talk to you again to find out more about them. You could always visit our website, CapeMayCountyGov.net, to find out what is happening in Cape May County. Until next time, I'm Lenora Bonafonte. See you on the Cape May County Report.